All right. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh Shemel Shabbat Shem Kar HaKadosh. Double honors to the Apostle Knows, a great millstone. Peace salutation to the brother doing the work of sincerity and the truth, the hopeful elect. The brothers waiting every day patiently for Yahweh Shemel Shah to return so we can get out this place. Peace salutation to you, brothers. Just want to get into just basically a lesson or the exhortation on this idiot vocab Malone. If you see on the screen, it says Jesus, which the world calls him, declares all foods clean. This nigga done went to Mark and trying to prove certain things, man. Which is, it's what you think the heathen's gonna do, man. They're trying to stop the salvation of Israel, no matter what. I'm not gonna run his. I'm not gonna play this. I just want you to see the screen. All right. Okay. So this buffoon thinks he can fool. Hey, if Israelites are fooled, it's because of Yahweh Shemel Shai has fooled them. I mean, if they deceive, it's because they deceived by Yahweh Shemel Shai. Okay. Let's get that real. Because this is this is just a lot of. I mean, this is part of the gospel. You got to defend the gospel, no matter what. It don't matter what these devils think they can do. It's letting me know more and more that you're a goddamn devil, man. All right. This is Job. Job 12:16. Right. As Job 12:16 said, with him is strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are here. So if you fall for this derelict vocab Malone, who's going to try to take you out of the truth or trick you and out of believing that Yahweh Shemel Shai is the power, man, you on your own, man. No matter what you think, Yahweh Shemel Shai, it did not constitute all foods clean. Let's go there, okay? Let's go to Leviticus. Just gonna start Leviticus 11. Let's go to 11, and I just start the point. Or let's start with. Okay, let's start with verse 4. Okay, it says, nevertheless. Because we talking about Yahweh Shai, he's saying declaring all foods clean. All right. Then Yahweh Shai keep the law. Okay. All right. Did he say he stopped the law of the dietary law? This is a dietary law, man. Okay. And it's to help you not hurt yourself. All right. There's even the scriptures tell you not watch out for the excessive meats, man. Okay. This is Leviticus 11:7. Let me see. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that. Let's go start from 1. It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are upon the earth. Whosoever part the hoof and is cloven footed and cheweth the cud, among the beasts shall ye eat. So it's going to go into cows, deer, even elk, moose, something in that nature. Okay, things of that you can eat those things. All right, that chew the cud. Okay, he says, nevertheless, these shall, because he had to go into detail with this, because niggas would make a hoof, they'll take a hoof and not chew up the cud. And they'll make it simple. Not like vocab Malone is making it difficult for the word to come out, but he's not. It's just a little curve that's gonna get just straightening out by the men of the Lord. It says, nevertheless shall you not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof as the camel. See, now it says something that if you go up, it says about chewing the cud, divide of the hoof. But this one it says, nevertheless, you shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof as the camel. Okay? You can't eat the camel. That's an abomination to you. Because he chewed the cud, but he's not divided the hoof. He don't divide the hoof. The camel, all right? He is unclean. So a nigga take one of the two, or that is, uh, part of it. It's one of the three that he is. I think it's three of them, and choose one. Okay, he's part of the hoof. See, okay, it says the coney because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you. See, Yahweh Shai made a good distinction. They said the hair. These are rabbits, man, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof. He is unclean to you. And so you got our brothers that's down south, or family members that come up north. They eating rabbit. Rabbit is a big rodent. Okay, let me go ahead and get the coney first. Okay. Rock badger says, yeah, okay, go at the bottom. It says species of rock rabbit. Okay. All right, man. Let's go to verse 7. It says, and the swine, though he divideth the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you. Now, this is an abomination. Okay. For of flesh of their flesh ye should not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you, so you can't even touch their dead corpse, man. All right. And these ye shall eat that are in the water. So it's gonna go into the waters. Let's go there then. It says has whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters and in the seas and in the rivers, them ye shall eat. So things that must have fins, scales, and these things that's on the water. So fins and scales you gotta have. Now lobster don't have a scale. They got some type of exoskeleton. Okay. All right. See, this is where we defend the gospel, man. We're gonna defend the gospel through this, through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. It's easy. Even Edomites know this, man. But Vocab Malone, which the nigga he is, the devil he is, just wants you jakes to go off, so you can't receive the kingdom. Why? What fool got to do with prophecies? See, they're not into that, man. All right. It goes, season in the rivers, and them ye shall eat. Shall ye eat. Okay, and all the things, all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of any living thing which are in the waters, shall be an abomination unto you. Okay, so these things gonna be an abomination to you, right? And it's gonna tell you about you shouldn't touch their carcass or whatever. So, you can't eat catfish. No catfish, brothers. Okay? Things like with Vocab Malone, see, we got to have certain things to clean the ocean, too. How about Shema Shah's place animals to clean the oceans? I mean, we need abundance of them because the oceans is deep and heavy. But you got overfishing and delicacies of lobster, shrimp, and crabs, man. And other things that clean the oceans, man. Okay? You can't eat those certain things. All right? Okay, now let's go down here, man. Oh, even going to the birds. You can't eat a hawk. Let's go to the birds. It says, and these are the abomination of the fowls that shall not be eaten. And these are an abomination. The eagle, you can't eat the eagle, or ostrich, or the osprey, the vulture, and the kite, and after his kind. So anything after that look like a vulture and a kite. Every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cacao. You brothers can read this, man, but it's in Leviticus chapter 11, okay? And the little owl and the cormorant, and the great owl, okay? And the stork and the heron, and after her kind, okay? Then you can go down to the locust. You saying you may eat these. It says yet these things you may eat after the flying, creeping things that goes upon all fours, which have legs upon their feet to leap withal upon the earth, Even those of them ye may eat the locust. You can eat the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle. You can eat a beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. So those things you can eat. Okay. There, let's go down to 26. And the carcass of the beast which divideth the hoof and is not cloven footed, nor chew the cud. The cud are unclean unto you. Everyone that touches them shall be unclean. So you can't touch certain things, right? Okay. Now we're gonna go into this article I found. A couple articles. You know, because Joe Cab is trying to take men of the Lord and try to deceive Israel. What do you think they're here for, man? Okay, let's start from the top. This is did Jesus eat pork? Okay, it says this is this eat this, not that. Is a media company is a media company that educates people on making the wise choices. And the Bible isn't a book about diet. It's an entire chapter of the Old Testament. It could be labeled the Bible version of eat this and not that. Okay, let's start at Leviticus 11. It says Leviticus 11, it's and 47. It says verses to help us make a distinction between animals that may be eaten and animals that may not be eaten. Additional guidance is also given in Deuteronomy 14. Okay, to label these clean and unclean meats. Here are an overview of Leviticus 11, Deuteronomy 14 teaches. Mammals have to be divided hoof and chew their cud. That means the animals like cattle, goats, deer are created to be eaten, but mammals like pigs and rodents are not. Okay, so you can eat a giraffe. Okay. Clean fish have scales. This means offensive scales. This means like cod, salmon, trout, tuna are fine for human consumption, but they make those things horrible too, man. They put all mercury in the water and all detestable shit. But other water creatures like lobster, shrimp, crabs, and catfish are not. So you can't eat those, brothers, sisters. Clean birds include chicken, turkey, duck. Oh no duck. And quail. Okay. All right. Includes and unclean birds. Includes vultures, seagulls, hawks, and eagles. Okay. So those things you can't eat those. Okay. Let's jump down. It says Yahweh created biblical laws. It says to answer the question, we have to remember who Yahweh was before he came on earth. He was with Yahweh, the Father, the Creator of all things, and the one who gave the law. Okay. So he was with Yahweh Shemashai, and he was with him when he gave the law in the Old Testament. Okay. Let's go to. I'm gonna go ahead and go to John. Let's go to John chapter 1, verse 3, and Ephesians 3 and 9. Okay. Let's go to John chapter 1, verse 3. John 1 and 3. John 1 and 3. It says, all things are made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. Okay? So Yahweh made all things, and everything that was not made by him. Because even this law. Okay? Let's go to Ephesians 3 and 9. Okay? Ephesians chapter 3, verse 9. Ephesians 3 and 9. It says, and to make all men see what is in fellowship of the mysteries which from the beginning of the world had been hid in the power who created all things, by Yahweh Shai. So these things were created by Yahweh Shai, even the law. Okay? The law was given by Yahweh to give to Israel. So this is something that the Satan, the so-called white man, with vocab alone, is trying to give Israel up to wickedness, man. Okay? Even your pizza, man. Okay? A lot of people do that, man. You can't eat pepperoni pizza. You can't eat pork chop. You can't eat shrimp cocktail, man. Let's go down. Let's just start. Okay? Okay, to answer the question, remember that Yahweh Shai was, before he came on earth, he was with Yahweh Shemel Shai. He was with Yahweh and the creator of all things, and one who gave the laws in the Old Testament. He spoke to Moses and described which animal they could and couldn't eat in intricate detail. So it was deep detail, right? Okay? Let's jump down. Okay? It says, this says Jesus never broke his own laws, right? Okay? It says, if you go back and read the listing of clean and unclean meats closely, you will discover that these are laws. This is the law of animals and birds and every living creature that moves in the water of every creature that creepeth on the earth. Okay, Leviticus 11:46. Let's go there. Okay, Leviticus 11:46. Leviticus chapter 11, verse 46. Okay, which reads, it says, this is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and every creature that creepeth upon the earth. So this is a law. You can't eat these certain things, man. All right? What you go in that chapter 11, you will figure it out. You know? Leviticus 11. Because in Mark, it doesn't say you can eat everything. Okay? But he was explaining that, hey, these everything that come out of a man, what comes out of a man is defiles, and what they were saying, because there was a lot of deception, wickedness coming out of these men's mouths at that time. Yahweh Shai was just being, he was going in on them, man. Okay, let's go here. It says eating the most common unclean discussed in the Bible is eating swine is most common meat discussed in the Bible is called the abomination. Okay, it's an abomination to eat that stuff, right? Okay, and the scriptures are very clear that Yahweh Shai never sinned. So it showed that Yahweh Shai never sinned, man. Okay. Okay, typically, an argument from the silence is the strongest, but something silence can make a powerful statement. Most people with a basic knowledge of Yahweh Shai's life know that the Pharisees are not his biggest fans. So that you know the Pharisees, the wicked Pharisees, are not his biggest fans. He says they watch it very closely, and they attempt to catch him doing anything that could be construed as sinful to disqualify him in his people's eyes. So they watched him with everything he did. Okay? It says the gospel records many of their accusations. For instance, they accuse him of breaking the Sabbath. You know, in Matthew 12:10, it says blasphemy. Okay, they did, and encouraging people to withhold taxes to Rome, or of course all the accusations of outrage and easily proven false. Okay, now think about this. If Yahweh Shai had eaten pork of any other unclean meat, what would have happened to the Pharisees if they found out that trumpeted it on the housetop they would have got on top of the housetop and declared that, hey, he eating pork. And the Judean community. So people, it would have been known that he was doing this, all right? And certainly such as accusations would have discredited Yahushua. Well, it would have been discredited that he would have been saying, you can eat pork. They would have got up there. So this guy said you can eat pork. They would have made a big hoopla about it. You know, and it would have been right if he would have been saying that. Okay? But it was an accusation that Pharisees didn't make because it never happened. So because it never happened, that's why they didn't make the accusations. Okay? I mean, and if you go down here, it's going to talk about the food. It's talking about the pigs, man. If Yahushua would have, if those demons in Mark 5, they wanted to go inside of the swine, and Yahushua permitted them to. If it was something big, Yahushua would have just let them. Hey, he would have been like, "No, that's food. People could have ate that." No, he didn't care. He didn't look at him. He didn't look at the swine as food. Okay, that's one thing. Okay. Okay, here go another one. Let's go here. Now we're gonna talk about the abomination that make it desolate. All right, this is Matthew 24 and 15. The abomination that make it desolate. Okay, close that. It says, okay, the key passage in Daniel that mentioned the term abomination of desolation and Daniel 9:24. Let's get this passage. The scripture, it says, and he shall confirm the covenant with many of the one for 1 week, and in the midst of the week he shall cause the sacrifice of the oblations to cease, because that was over the altar. And for the offspreading of the abomination, he shall make it desolate, even unto the consumption, and the determined shall be poured upon the desolate. Okay, right. Let's go to 11 and 31. It says, and his arm shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and they shall take away the daily sacrifice, and shall place the abomination that make it desolate. So they would sacrifice the swine's flesh. All right. This is Daniel 12 and 11. It says, from that time the daily sacrifice was taken away, and the abomination make it desolate shall set up. There shall be a 1,290 days. Okay. All right. So this is what Yahushua mentioned in Matthew 24 about the abomination to make it desolate. As a matter of fact, let's go and get that. Okay. Matthew 24 and 15. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 15. Okay. When therefore ye shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whosoever read it, let him understand. Okay, so this is a scripture that Yahushua was speaking on. Okay, if you understood this, you want to understand what he was talking about. Okay, let's go here. All right. Now it's going to go back to those same points. All right. This is Mark 3 and 14. It says, and when you shall see the abomination and make it desolate, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing where it ought not, let him that readeth understand. Let them be in Judea flee to the mountains. So you see the destruction of Israel and abomination make the desolation when they sacrifice swine's flesh on the altar. So if that was a big thing, it was abomination that Yahushua spoke about. Okay. And this is a big thing, you know. So some people said they'd rather eat pork than speak Greek. Okay. All right. Now here's the curtail. This is the situation. This is Daniel 11 and 31. A prophecy that was written by Daniel in the 6th century BC about a future Syrian, which is Antiochus. He wasn't even Syrian. He wasn't even a Greek. He was an Edomite, a ruler by the name of Antiochus Epiphanes, who reigned over Syria in 175 to he only did about 9 years. 164 BC, about 400 years after Daniel. History, of course, has recorded the reign of this man. In verse 31, Daniel prophesied about his activity, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength and shall take away the daily sacrifices, because we were sacrificing for our sins, lawful, you know, and lawfully, and they shall place the abomination of desolation. This would have been very difficult to understand if it were not for the fact that it was already been fulfilled. Anyone can go back to the history of Antiochus Epiphanes and discover that he did as recorded in the apocryphal book and of first and second Maccabees. He was a great persecutor to the children of Israel and did his best to stamp out the Jewish religion and wanted to place it in the stead of worship of the Greek gospel of the Greek gods. One thing he did was to stop the animal sacrifice in the temple, because he wanted to stop, like Vocab Malone is doing. He's trying to stop the daily sacrifices of us praying to Yahweh Shema Shah, as telling us we can sacrifice, we can eat swine's flesh and things which defile us. It's unclean to us. Okay? He offered a sow, which is a pig, an unclean animal on the altar in a deliberate attempt to desecrate and render it holy for the Jewish worship. Okay? Okay, let's go to Maccabees real quick. Let's see if that'll open up for me. It won't open up. Let's see what this web search. Let's go back. Let's get the whole thing. Let's do another web search. I'll do it like this. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 48. Okay. First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 48. Okay. Let's go to verse 40. Let's go to verse 44. Let's go to 43. It says, yea, many of the Israelites consider to his religion. Let's go to 41. It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote in his whole kingdom that all should be one people, and everyone should leave his laws, like Vocab Malone is trying to do. He's trying to make us be one people and one and everything, but we're Israelites, we're different. All right? All right? So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea. So many also of the Israelites consented of his religion. So our own people got into this, man, and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath. And that's what's happening. Then when you got G-Man, you got Cherry Love, you got all of them guys that's getting into sacrifices with Vocab Malone, just like him. He trying to make a proclamation to Israel to do wickedly. All right? It says, to his religion and sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath, for the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and to the cities of Judea, and they should follow the strange law of the land and have forbid burnt offerings. So he didn't want us to sacrifice to our power and holy and righteousness and sacrifice and drink offerings and in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath in festival days. Okay, so we shouldn't do none of the oblations and praise Yahweh Shema Shah. He wanted to stop, like Vocab is doing, man. That's all he is. He just a Greek. He just a Greek that don't want us to do it. He don't want us to praise Yahweh Shema Shah. He wants to praised the so-called white man, okay, and polluted the sanctuary of the holy people. He said he set up the altar in the groves and the chapel, so he put groves up there that they should worship. And then that's what you think they doing today. They're in the groves at this moment, what you call churches, and chapels and idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts. So they consented. They was good at it. They was wanting to do it. Okay. It says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of unclean and profanation, to the end they might forget the law. And that's what happened, that they might forget the law. So they taught their children, and they became Hellenists. They started going into other ways. That's a lot of them started going in the way of the heathen and became Hellenists. Okay? And that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever will not do according to the commandment of the king, he says, should die. So that's what's going on. That's now he wants us to perish if we didn't do what wicked. Man, listen, he ain't nothing but a Greek. It's really clear that vocab alone is really a Greek. Okay. I lost that page. But that's really it. Okay. That's really it. Because, let me get the scripture then. Okay. This is Matthew, because Yahweh Shai didn't come to, he came to fulfill. Okay. Okay. This is Matthew 5:17. It says, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy. I have come to fulfill. Okay? He came to fulfill the law. He ain't come to, he said he ain't come to destroy the law. He ain't say that all the meats was clean. He never said that. But hey, if you don't get it, that's on you. But until with that, I'm gonna give all praise to Yahweh Shem Shah, peace, citation, shalom.